Mine. Good morning. Yes. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to King Arthur Pendragon. This is year 487, a side adventure, the adventure of the Praetor's Plea. Hello, everybody. How are y'all?
Good.
Awesome.
Hello. Hi, Steven.
Good morning, Eric. I see you have your coffee. Jess was telling me about how she does not. What happened? What was it? You just ran out, Jess?
We just ran out of beans.
That is.
We have a
terrible.
French press, so
Mistakes were made.
buy more beans and rip.
Nice. I haven't started drinking coffee again yet, but I have my siphon coffee maker sitting over on the counter looking all cool and alchemical.
Ooh.
And I'm waiting for an end of the month delivery of a Bunsen burner that will let me
Oh, rad.
put some fire under it.
That sounds fun.
It is super fun. I've used it before, and it makes what I think is the best cup of coffee. So it's just super delicious. Yes. Luke, are you a coffee man?
I am not.
Shocking.
I was raised a tea drinker.
Ah.
I'm like the worst person in the world. I am the person that no one wants to be friends with. I'm a teetotaling
Tea drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've made up for it with the role-playing games.
Yeah. Well, I try to write like really metal role-playing games about stabbing people to try to recapture that. But you know, the ethos of like a coffee drinker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is basically what drinking coffee is about, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. So, you know, I really tried to embody that.
Excellent. I think you've done a good job. What have you been up to in the last week? Anything dramatic or fascinating?
Moi?
Yeah. Yes.
Tell
Toi.
us. I launched a Kickstarter campaign for a new Torchbearer book.
Yeah.
Called Midar Mark.
That's super cool.
It's super cool. It's so much work.
Is it just the launching of the Kickstarter campaign that's so much work?
Well, the Kickstarter campaign, right, is work, but also we always try to push ourselves at Brittle headquarters because we're idiots.
Yeah.
We can't do an easy thing. And so for this time, we decided that we wanted to give day one, minute one, all of the Torchbearer backers a PDF copy of the complete book.
Okay, yeah.
So we got about 99% there. Like there's one map that's missing, I think, from the book. And obviously it needs a kind of final pass edit. But yeah, we did it. Like we launched a Kickstarter campaign and sent a message to all the Torchbearer backers. Here's a complete PDF of the book. We've never done that before. Never. We're always like hoarding the material until we've scrubbed it clean and sent it off to the printer, and then I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
here.
Begrudgingly, I released this from my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Drell and I were just in his cave sweating the layout. It took like a tag team, two of us, to get the layout going, to get it perfect. And if you have seen some of the folios of the layout, it's gorgeous.
Awesome.
Dro did an incredible job. Kurt Komoda just went we sent Kurt Komoda into a dark place, and he emerged with just the most beautiful art.
A rose victorious.
Yeah.
That's how art works usually.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We were like just kind of lashing him with a tiny little whip. We're like, do another one. And his pieces normally what happens with an artist, what I find is that the trajectory is that, they start really tight and detailed, and then they kind of get a little softer and a little bit more like, but Kurt just kept getting more and more detailed.
Wow.
Like we're like zooming in on the pictures, and we're like, there's a world within a world.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man, God. Speaking of that particular comment, the world in the world comment, have y'all seen like there's like some sort of new tilt brush-esque like program in VR? But basically the thing that it lets you do is it lets you scale really smoothly from like really tiny scale. So I saw a GIF where it was like there was like a world, like a planet, and you zoom in and then down on a street on the planet. It was like, a small sort of scale planet, just a little planetoid. And you zoom in and there's like a car on the planet, and one of the people in the car is holding like a snow globe, and you zoom in into the snow globe, and all this is in VR, so it's like you're really inside this space. You zoom in into the snow globe, and it's like this little like forest scene, and then they like looked over to a flower, and they zoomed in on the flower, and there were like bees buzzing around the flower, until you were like the size of a bee inside a forest scene, inside a snow globe, inside a car on a planet. It was just this ridiculous scale adjustment, so it's super awesome.
Whoa.
Nice. I was actually going to ask for the link to your Kickstarter, but Eric has put it in chat for us, so those of you who are interested in things such as the burning of wheels and the bearing of torches, you should definitely go check out Midar Mark. Maybe I'll be able to put a link to that in the YouTube video if you're watching this at home. Very cool. That's exciting. Jess, what has your week been like?
I have not been designing awesome games or doing anything like that. I have been working a, normie average person job and cleaning my house and getting some sleep and playing some Mass Effect.
Those are all excellent things.
Those are all good things.
Wow, I'm so interesting.
Yes, fascinating as a person.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, super cool. Are you like prepping for Mass Effect Andromeda?
Yeah, definitely. I'm still working on pricing out new PC things. So
yeah, you're gonna have to upgrade in order to be able to run it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It all boils down to this. I have until March.
Is it also coming out in March?
What? Andromeda?
Yeah, Andromeda.
Yeah.
So like, how are you going to be able to afford both a Switch and Zelda and Andromeda?
I know. That's the question.
Did any of you pre-order the Switch and Zelda?
No.
Smart choices. Smart choices, friends.
I missed the Nintendo showcase. I didn't watch it yet, but I just saw some tweets, and I feel like it's a lot smaller than I thought it was.
You mean the handheld?
Big. Yeah, I thought it was more like a tablet size.
Is it
like
not?
a Wii U size?
I need to go back and watch it. I think it's smaller than a Wii U, but it's like significantly larger than a 3DS screen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely larger than that. I just thought it was
right. You thought it was Wii U sized.
Yeah.
I don't have any time to play handheld games anymore. I mean, I could, I guess, I have to stand on the bus because my buses are always packed.
That's what they're for.
Yeah, I know. That's like, how do you not have time to play handheld games? I don't have time to play games I sit down at my PC, but
maybe for like my 30 minutes of my lunch when I'm not eating, it would be like my only use there.
Manage your Animal Crossing town in that time. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Eric time for that kind of stuff. Like, because then if I'm home, then I would be like, well, then let me just put in like on a normal TV screen.
Yes.
And then
right.
the
Yeah.
value of the Switch isn't necessarily. I'm getting. Yeah. I don't know. I love Zelda, but I don't know if it's.
But the Switch is a console that plays on your TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then it's also
Switches.
The value of getting a Switch is not because I don't really use it for the handheld thing and all those kind of components. I don't know. Maybe if my friends get it, then maybe because of the Nintendo Online aspect stuff. But other than that, I don't know. I just don't really. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a big handheld player in the first
I don't
place.
know. I feel like for me, if I bought a console because I wanted the stuff the console gave me, like for example Zelda, which looks amazing. But if I was gonna buy a Switch for Zelda so that I could play it on my TV, then the handheld bit is just like a bonus. It's like, check it out.
I'm not spending $400 on Zelda.
I know.
I
know.
I'll just watch a stream of it.
But I spent like $500 on Bloodborne, so like I respect people who choose not to make that decision, but for me, certain games are worth the entry price of a console, and Zelda might be it. I'm still waiting for reviews because I work in the games industry and I know what games development is like, and I know what games marketing is like, and I want to see what the reviews are before I buy in on it. But if it is, I don't know, like, oh, cat, come on, stop chewing on cables.
See, there's no cables for your cat to chew on.
Yes, that's very important. Yeah, if it's highly regarded, like Wind Waker plus levels of respect, I will definitely get it.
Yeah.
And also, it's it's cheaper than any other console that I could purchase. Yeah. Eric, what have you been up to in the last week?
Boy, I've been kind of doing a bunch of like little tiny like Eric improvement things.
Oh yeah.
So
Nice.
I've been getting up instead of my normal. So I go to the gym a lot. I go to the gym 3 times a week, and when I go, but I have to get up like 5:30 in the morning to do it, and then go to work. Right.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I started finally like instead of just keeping a notebook, I've got like one of those like fitness app things. I'm like now like digitally recording that stuff.
Awesome.
And then the days when I'm not doing that, I'm still getting up at the same time now. But instead now I'm doing like Code Academy stuff for JavaScripting.
Cool.
Specifically. And then in addition to that, every day I have this thing called Golden Thread Tarot.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is on Android.
It's so pretty.
Yes, it's on iTunes. It's a very pretty tarot card, and it's basically here's your card. And essentially, I see it. I use it kind of like a alternate reality game kind of thing, where I use it as almost like a yoga intention to kind of like evaluate what this card would mean today, and kind of like a view of like, man, hey, how's this going to come up in my life today? Let's
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah, mantra.
and yeah, exactly. And then kind of using it as a measurement of my my own kind of like personal evaluation. I saw Steven, you're doing a lot of like journal writing.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of like getting more and like mentally in touch. So kind of how I'm tracking my fitness stuff. I'm also now going to be more about tracking my mental health stuff.
Yeah.
Good. That's great.
So I'm kind of getting into the whole like Eric data thing.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
like
That's
that.
2017.
Yeah, I've started keeping 2 journals. I was just managing a very spiky kitten in my lap. I've started keeping 2 journals. One of which is called the 5-minute journal, because you're supposed to do it for 5 minutes every day. And it's basically you just wake up, and the first thing you do when you wake up is you write down 3 things that you can do to make the day awesome.
That's really good.
Plus like a like an identity statement, like I am this type of person, like whatever. There's just sort of like positive thinking about yourself. And then at the end of the day, you write down 3 things that you could have done to make the day go better, as well as anything that you would go back and change if you had like the opportunity to. Like if you had a time travel button, you would just like go back and change something about the day. And it's just like just a short, tiny little exercise to start framing like your perspectives on your ability to affect your day, basically. And then I'm also like, I'm just taking notes every day, every evening before I go to bed on anything that gave me any emotional impact over the course of the day, to just like start paying more attention to basically the things that I like and don't like, the things that make me happy and unhappy. So that's all been very good.
That's really
Oh,
good.
so I need to do an update from last time we played.
Oh yeah?
The Magicians.
Yes.
Fuck that show.
Oh really?
The ending of it is complete and utter garbage, and really it's not like, oh boy, like this is like bad. It's just it's actually terrible. Like the direction they take that show at the end is very bad.
So it's kind of like the OA. Got it.
Oh, okay. I mean, it is egregiously like it's gross. It's just it's gross. It's mortifyingly gross on a moral standpoint and stuff. It's just like real bad, and it's really. I mean, I don't want to get into the spoilers or anything like that, but yeah, like sexual violence isn't great, guys. Don't put it in your shows. Just don't do it.
Oh,
Trigger warnings.
Just don't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lame. I've actually heard that from other people about the Magicians, so disappointing.
Wow, super lame.
That was
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the thing. I didn't know any. I mean, I went into it really blind, and I was like, oh, it's kind of problematic with the writing. I get it. It's kind of the show and everybody, and then it just goes around. It's bad. It's bad.
Straight into
Update
bad
that.
places.
But I need so in order to supplement that, my recommendation is if you guys like podcasts, listen to Revolutions.
Yeah?
I forget the guy who does it, but Revolutions is if you like historical podcasts, it's all about historical revolutions. And spoilers, that's some premium GM material
Yeah, I bet.
to steal from. Premium.
Nice.
So
Well, awesome. Okay, let me put this terrifying devil of teeth and claws into my bedroom, and then we'll get started playing some King Arthur Pendragon. So I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Pile of needles here. Since you guys were all talking about journals, I also
You're a ferocious beast.
am trying to journal a little bit this year. And this is an action journal. It's made by Ghostly. And it's really awesome because it has like bulleted lists on every page.
Ooh.
And every page is perforated. So if you really like making lists, this thing is freaking awesome. PSA.
Yeah.
Rad.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Never ready.
Never ready to play role-playing games. All right, very cool. So, yes, yeah, can we start with a session recap? What happened last time that we played?
There was a goat.
There was a goat.
Oh, I didn't do very well, did I?
You, failed, every roll you made, right?
Did you earn any checks?
No.
You did the best thing. Jess, don't say that. You did the best thing. You spilled blood with us. You spilled your own blood.
Yes, right.
True.
She imposed her body between you and death.
That's right.
Yeah. You nearly died, right? Oh no, that was Gwynwyn who we had the side flash of maybe in an alternate universe.
Oh,
she was
yeah.
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 Taking an absurd amount of. It was 12d6. You didn't roll lower than a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross amount of ungodly damage.
Yeah. But I mean, Jess you got knocked out, right?
I definitely got knocked out.
Yeah.
Mine's just a little unsure right now. She's just a little scared.
All right. Hang out with Rethric. We will focus like an axe blade. The problems of life.
Are axe blades very focused?
What is there a better delivery mechanism for your point?
Maybe could I argue the point of a lance, perhaps?
Oh! I set you up for that one.
Yeah. So last time you went out in the forest on your nightly rounds, and as you were out there, you encountered an old man who was like, "Oh, please go rescue my goat. It's all lost and sad." And you went to rescue it, and it was a huge magic goat, which a giant promptly scooped up, and you fought and killed the giant. And then the old man came up, and he was like, "Ha ha, I'm Merlin." And then he
wouldn't have guessed that.
Literally,
he teleported you into a forest where he went to a lake and received some sword from a woman who held her arm up out of the lake. While meanwhile, you all fought a Nuka-Lavi, whatever. If that's the right way to say it, who knows? Some sort of weird creature in the shape of a knight on horseback with 4 arms. And you bested it in combat and protected Sir Merlin. So yeah, the rest of the year 486 went uneventfully. You returned to your manors and managed them. Nidian had a second child, a daughter this time, so now he's got a son and a daughter hanging around. None of the rest of you have children yet, do you?
Yeah, I had a son.
Oh, did you? Yes, yeah. Hrethrickson. Is that Yvonne's? Yeah, right?
Yes, yeah, I married Yvonne and had baby Rethric.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it's the family's growing. Like mom had a son last year, and now
Yep.
we got married, had a baby. So
super awesome. So it's early in the year 487. It's sort of late winter, and I'm imagining that you all are coming home from Dwinwyn's awesome party. Yeah.
okay.
So
I can see that.
You're riding along the road back from Dwinwyn's manor. Let's see. Maybe I can even tell you exactly which one that is. Yeah, back from Newton Tony. Along, I guess, the Salisbury Main Road down through the Chute Forest and the Collingbourne Wood.
Put it up. And you've got the advancement stuff up from last week.
Let's pull you over here.
Woo!
Yeah.
So yeah, you're sort of coming from Newton Tony. I guess you'd be heading down towards Sarum.
Would you say it's a Tony estate?
I can tell that you've made a joke, but I actually don't know what a Tony estate is, and so
Well, it's just Tony is like an obsolete word for posh.
Really?
From like film noir or something.
Well, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, that's probably where it even comes from, or
it probably comes from Newton Tony, or
Yeah, exactly. Good. Yeah. So, I think you've just maybe you're sort of on the road just outside of Sarum, heading that way, and ahead of you you see 6 strange figures. They're on horseback. One of them is wearing a large purple cloak over his back. His armor is a strange bronze color, and he's got a helmet that sort of like it's open in the face and it's cut down long along his cheeks, and off the top of it is a large red plume. And the others are all wearing. They're wielding sort of shorter, stockier swords at their hips, and large, sort of rectangular shields slung across their backs.
So this doesn't sound like they look like they're British or Kimric.
It's true. They don't look Kimric.
They also don't look Saxon, right?
No, they don't look Saxon. They're definitely not Saxon warriors. They're not that sort of.
Yeah, that's what...
They're not wielding like 2-handed axes or things like that. Give me a recognize roll, each of you.
Okay.
Patrick is kind of in his own world, but what do we got here?
Oh wow!
Oh, well,
it's King Arthur.
It's King Arthur.
Not even alive yet.
Exactly. Oh, that's all 3 of you. Okay, cool. Yes.
That rolls out early.
So you know that this is some sort of foreign group, but you don't know who.
I would love to address them.
What do you say?
I welcome them. Welcome, friends and strangers. Welcome to Salisbury. Is there any small task that we could undertake for you, perhaps?
The man with the big red plume turns around and he says, "Hail and well met. Ave, be well. My name is Syagrius. I'm traveling through here in the direction of Cornwall. My men and I are looking to speak with the lords of these lands and see if we can muster any forces for our support. Tell me, are you native to these realms? Are you local, or are you traveling through like ourselves?"
Oh, we are knights in the service of Earl Roderick of Salisbury.
Earl Roderick of Salisbury. He is an earl to King Uther, yes? Uther. Yes, an important gentleman whom I would like to speak with, though albeit later. Tell me, good sir knights, will you break bread with us this evening here at a camp?
We would be honored to.
Come then, for my men and I have been on the road for a long time, and we would take our break here before reaching the city. And he sort of leads his men off to the side of the road, and they break out their bedrolls and their tent rolls and start setting up just a little pavilion. And in short order, they've made what feels to be like a very martial sort of little encampment. Just sort of, you can see that everybody is working sort of by rote.
Right. Are you saying, is it 6 knights and 6 squires?
It is. Well, the interesting thing about these knights is that they don't have squires with them. It's a very different sort of cultural whatever that's going on. But there are 6 knightly-looking gentlemen. Well, I guess 5 of them are knightly. There's Praetor Syagrius, as well as 4 legionaries. And then along with them, he has a steward, a man who's very physically attractive. He's got beautiful yellow eyes, rich golden skin, and dark curled ringlets in his hair. And he introduces himself as Crispus.
And just to refresh my Britanography here, heading to Cornwall means they're heading west?
South and west.
South and west, right.
Yeah.
And
to the horn.
There's some pawn-sucking traitor that lives out there, right?
Well, you know, I mean, that's going quite far, but certainly, there has been word that Duke Gorlois is not attending King Uther's musters with nearly as much force as Uther sort of expects from his dukes. So
right, like Duke Gorlois kind of like pieced out from that battle that we lost.
Yes.
2 years ago, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So as I said,
scum-sucking traitor.
Pond sucking, I believe my words were.
Oh, sorry, my fault.
I can just picture his head resting at the edge of a pond, just inhaling it all. Perhaps that's where he'll be when I'm done with him.
Yeah, perhaps that's where he'll be when you find him, even.
Anyway, so Hrethric. So just to explain to everyone why why I'm kind of circling this. Hrethric, being as loyal as he is, being the most loyal vassal, or at least he considers himself so, to his lord, Roderick, and ultimately Uther, is suspicious of their intent to go and speak to Gorlois in Cornwall. So,
perhaps that's the good moment then. If you are suspicious, and I've probably been picking up a little bit on your suspicion, maybe I want to, if there's a time where we can like speak privately, I want to ask you like, what is so suspicious about these guys? What is it that you see here, Hrethric? You know?
Oh, well, I just think it would be a great honor for Earl Roderick to host such interesting foreign dignitaries. I think it would be a slight on his honor should they pass by Salisbury and not be provided with the excellent hospitality that we are so familiar with. So
their matters are urgent, though.
I'm being a little guarded with you.
Okay.
Because I can't, like I can't spread slander about Gorlois, right? Like I can only have private feelings about Gorlois.
I guess maybe I'm trying to almost get you to admit to them in a way. I'm trying to push you towards that. But they seem like they're in a hurry. Surely, Lord Roderick could understand.
I believe that there are certain formalities that one must abide by.
Elaine, what do you feel about the conversation?
Yeah, I think absolutely we should show them how, hospitable we can be and make friends wherever we can.
How do you broach the conversation with these Roman dignitaries? That's for any of the three of you. The evening is going on, and you're eating and drinking, and I think probably as with any meeting of like military figures, there's a certain amount of boasting that's going on. So one of them is telling you about the time that he took out 3 men, with a single lance charge, that sort of thing. Are any of you telling of your own exploits?
Oh, I would love to. But Nidian, you're the orator amongst us, right?
Not really. I have an 8, dude. I don't actually talk that well.
Well, I have a 3. So.
I have an 8.
Yeah. I mean, if Hrethric will tell the story badly, if at least you two have a chance.
No, in fact, I'll do the opposite. I won't put anything forward unless someone like really specifically asks. I'm gonna really be like, no, I'm sure you guys are much more braver than us. Like you've seen your shares of battles. Look at your armor and your weapons, and and not really talk about the battle of Mercord Creek. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We killed a sorcerer and a giant and a Nukkalevi.
Well, you did. I did. So I'm just gonna be modest here and be like, oh, that sounds awesome. That's
right. I am also prevented from speaking of my deeds by my modesty.
Right. So we're just kind of erring on the side of flattery here.
So yeah.
Elaine, how modest are you?
Yeah.
Not.
Well, are you gonna try to claim any glory by boasting of your past exploits?
I see. I don't really have any.
Well, I mean,
And I'm-
as maybe not in play, but surely as a knight you have done something dramatic in your time.
Well, I'm super honest too. So
Yeah, but like being a knight,
I-
it's appropriate to like boast of your prowess.
yeah, I would talk about some past battle that I was awesome in and not our latest adventure.
Like... Nice. Why don't you test your proud, and let's see.
Proud, okay.
Yeah, let's see how awesomely you tell this tale. Oh well, you like. I think there's sort of a moment where like all the Roman soldiers are like, "Yeah, aye, 3 Goths at once. And the Huns, they came over the mountains and, slaughtered them on the left and I slaughtered them on the right." And then they're like, "And you folk, what have you done?" And this big red-bearded Saxon man's just like, nothing worth mentioning. And
No. Herethric at least says, like, we have just done small things.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
right.
We're playing down our accomplishments.
All right,
And then this
that's fair.
skinny little woman gets up and she's like, "Well, I was awesome in this fight
Yeah.
I had one time." And
That's great. I think you don't really go overboard, but you speak up and you're like, "Whoa, what? No, yeah, we are cool." Yeah, nice. So, the Praetor Syagrius, he looks at you, Elaine, and he says, you have some prowess in the battlefield then, some recognition and renown amongst your people.
I would say so, yes.
Oh, this is very fortunate, for you see, here in Britain we are foreigners and strangers, and it is challenging at times to press our case when we don't have the local awareness that such notable knights as yourself have. Listen,
Understood. My ancestors are from a foreign land, and I can understand your plight.
Truly, from whence do you hail?
If only I remembered the name.
It's Aquitaine, right?
Aquitaine, yeah.
Yeah.
Aquitaine. Aquitaine? Aquitaine?
What's with an A?
Aquitaine?
Yeah. Aquitaine.
Which sounds like I'm from, like...
I guess technically be Aquitaine.
I hail from Aquitaine.
Yeah, and the men, they sort of there's a murmuring and a spattering of Latin between them as they exchange information quickly. And Syagrius sort of barks a laugh. "Ha ha ha! Then your parents were my citizens!" And he sort of reaches out and clasps your wrist like
Yeah.
that very old movie wrist clasp.
Like,
Yeah.
kind of
A
this.
Roman handshake thing.
Yeah, and he says, "For I am the Praetor of Neustria," which was there's divisions of France historically. There's Aquitaine is sort of lower left side of France near Spain, and Neustria is sort of the central area. But he speaks freely after that point of sort of his rulership and ownership of the Frank Empire on behalf of the Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it comes out that he used to rule the Western Roman Empire from the city of Soissons. However, 2 years recently, in the year 485, local Frankish forces rebelled and usurped Roman rule in Neustria. And so he has come here to Britain to plead his case with the kings of the land and ask them for their aid in recovering the Roman Empire.
Wow. Okay. How would I feel about the Romans? Like, was this long enough ago that we've been under Roman rule? For
Yeah.
a while?
You've been under the Roman Empire for a long time. Like, I'm sure there's a little bit of like Quebec style, fierce independence sentiment, and certainly it's come to a head with the revolution that has happened, the usurpation. But the Romans were just and equitable rulers, and even in the time when they ruled in the north of Britain, they established roads and they built cities, and they left behind many great things. It's just that countries are sort of now starting to realize that it's better when they control their own destiny and not, have the Romans doing it for them. So I think you might recognize sort of both sides of the situation a bit. I think it's up to you as to whether your family was more, France is for the Franks or good Roman citizens.
Yeah.
So, and just like historically, like within historical memory, the Romans are like, right, the Romans are really like on both sides of the fence. Like, on one hand, man, they will fucking murder you. And they murdered a lot of different French tribes in order to consolidate power. On the other hand, they're like benevolent tyrants. Like, they aren't like once they rule you, like they don't care what gods you worship. They bring like a lot of wealth and infrastructure, build roads and cities, and
I mean they also have local like leadership and political involvement, right? So like just because you've been conquered, you still are in control of your own destiny to a certain extent.
You retain your culture.
Right. Yeah, they're really curious. Yeah, but if you buck,
it's
then
super modern for their time.
Yeah, well,
that's where imperialism goes.
My friend likes to say that if the Roman Empire didn't fall, we'd be wearing togas on the moon by now. Or I guess maybe let's back that up, the Roman Republic. But anyway, yeah. So yes, there's a lot of grist for to play with the Romans.
Yeah,
super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's your general sort of sense about that, Elaine? Where do you think your character falls on that scale?
I want to say we were just like good, abiding citizens that were relatively happy and never really felt like we weren't free in any way.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm not super rebellious.
Red, that's awesome. Yeah.
In fact, I'm kind of a chicken, as we've proven so far.
You're a chicken? Okay. What does that make me?
Nice. So yeah, he looks to you and he says, it would help our cause greatly to have such notable knights as yourselves accompany us. Will you journey with us to Cornwall and to Malahote and help us press our case?
How close to Salisbury are we?
Well, you're in.
Sarah, rather?
It's like maybe 3 hours ride away. Like you're very close.
Right.
Okay.
And then
go ahead.
And Cornwall is like a week's ride away, and then Malahote is like maybe 2 or 3 weeks to the north. Like remember, Britain is a pretty tight place.
Yeah.
So this journey, while it would take you away from your homes, you're on your own time right now. You're not beholden to your lord. You've served out your duty. And it would be fairly quick.
Yeah, I keep forgetting it's like the size of the state I live in.
Yep.
Then I would suggest that our Lord is on the way and that they should stop and rest and talk about their intentions and feast and whatnot. And that way, since I sense that these people could be, good friends to have, why not introduce them to our Lord?
Yeah. Why don't you make an orate check just to see how skillfully you're able to deliver this invitation? Oh, nice! Crushed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Epic. Yeah, he sort of sits back and he nods and he says, "Ha ha! You see, this is why it's good to meet with the locals and gather information from them. For we did not know there was a local lord just right here that we should be meeting and speaking with. Of course, we would love to meet this Earl Roderick. Please, on the morrow we shall break camp, feed you once again, and you shall take us to your lord's hall, where we will make all proper, introductions for ourselves."
Excellent.
The night continues, and some of the Roman soldiers break out various instruments and start playing a little bit of music. Syagrius opens a decanter of wine and waters it down and shares it with each of you. It's very fine vintage. He talks about the wines of what's the name of his sort of region, Neustria, and how wonderful their grapes have been for the Roman winemaking industry. And the night fades. Are all of you going straight to sleep, or is there any preparation you want to do? Are any of you suspicious enough that you're going to try to stay awake?
I think I'm gonna actually stay awake because I guess maybe I never really grew up on a lot of stories of that. Obviously, I know who the Romans are and everything like that, but and Equitane, but I don't really know much about these guys, and I was kind of hoping to hear their case before they would actually plead it to Sir Roderick and stuff, because I don't want to bring these people to our Earl without actually kind of knowing what they're about.
Yeah.
So, I am kind of suspicious, unless you guys are willing to say like, hold on, no, you talk me through this and I'll go to bed. Then
well,
that's
like
fine.
over the course of the evening, he's very willing to explain what he's looking for. If you're curious, what do you want to know from him?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious, and I would love to know from Praetor. What's his name? Praetor what?
Syagrius.
Okay, I didn't want to say Pythagorean. Syagrius. I kind of wanted to know. Perhaps I just admit that ignorance and say, listen, so I don't. Perhaps I'm not as well read as my companions here, but tell me more about. I'm sorry, I lost the name of the town that the French capital.
Soissons.
Swansong, yeah.
Soissons. You Philistine.
So Swan and all of your stories. I grew up just a humble, not a peasant, but esquire, right? A son of an esquire. I never had the privilege of hearing these stories. Come on, let's talk. Let's if your heart is okay and you're not tired, I would love to hear of your stories of this place.
Yeah, let's see. Wait. Soissons is a commune in the Aisne department in Hauts-de-France in northern France, located on the Aisne River, about 100 kilometers northeast of Paris. He begins reciting from Wikipedia. It is one of the most ancient towns of France. Yeah, I mean, he begins telling you all about like the stories of his childhood in Soissons. And growing up under the Roman legion and his training and just his love for the region and the rolling hills nearby, the river.
The question that I really have right now is, will Nidian be swayed to help their cause and really like push forward for Lord Roderick? So I want to know what this guy's doing really to like really push. Maybe less the I didn't mean to make you look up Wikipedia stuff. I'm not going to more how passionate and like what his cause is about, right? Like of retaking this country and knowing more about this country and these great people kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, his cause is one of empire, right? He's he's maybe he talks about his
Sing me a song of your people.
Right, his dedication to the Roman emperor, I guess it would be at this time, and he plays on his love for his lord and his duty as a lord in his own right to reclaim the lands that he lost and the shame that he feels that the local Frankish forces were able to rout his men. And how the least he can do to make it right for his king is to go to foreign kings and beg their aid. I mean, he gestures sort of to a number of chests that are being carried on the horses of his men. And he opens one of them, and there's just gold sitting in there. And he says, yes, we're offering half of our treasury to any king who's willing to give us significant aid in the retaking of Soissons.
Herethrick's eyes light up, not at the gold. Herethrick's like, yeah, gold. But the retaking of Soissons.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about for Syagrius. He's like, yes, we must gather an army and battle our way across France. take back the cities that have been claimed by the enemies and earn glory for ourselves and our people. And he talks about the fires of battle and yeah.
Okay.
Rhetoric is.
Let's see. He's actually going to try to make a. He's going to make an orate test, but first he
passes for me.
He's going to call on the love of his lord, Nidian.
Okay. Yeah.
Who's his lord? Whoa, Caesar? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and yeah, he speaks passionately from the heart out of his love for Caesar, and you even are able to recognize in him. Actually, wait here. Here's the orate roll. So let's see. He's probably got like an 18 orate because he's a Roman praetor, and then he's got the +10 for his. Let's see, +8, less than 20. Cool. Wow. So he speaks very eloquently and succinctly, but it's almost as if he knows that you're not his men to motivate, and he knows that like you're foreign people who may not have all of the cultural references that he has, and so he's just like, yeah, here's the situation. He just lays it out very cleanly.
Oh, I'm picking up what you're laying down, brother.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely. Nidian is definitely feeling this, but perhaps I say to Syagrius, I'm saying, like, sir, your words and stories and your passion for your Lord moves me greatly. I will help you. I will assist you pleading your case, but I will caution you about the current state of affairs here, and say that we are under threat of the Saxons' invasions, and you best a good offense must know what the enemy and what you're up against. Being able to help these lords know about the Saxon threat, and perhaps you might have to lend yourself and against them to prove your worth, or something like that. Just basically, I'm trying to give him information here to be like, hey, listen, this is probably how they're gonna like want to argue against it. Like, yeah, dude, I got my lands are getting raided right now. I can't spare anyone, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, help him out right now and being like, you moved me. Here are some things that you might expect, but also I'm not that great at knowing the ways of court and how to talk to kings, so maybe I should roll something, but I'm not exactly sure what
give me a courtesy roll.
Yeah, okay. But he moved me. I want to help him out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Crit. Make a check mark on your courtesy.
Woo.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you very eloquently state what sort of problems he may run into when approaching the kings of Britain, which you nailed it in one, right? Like, the country of Britain is beset on all sides by invaders. Saxons in the south, Irish in the north. It's just, it's a dire time, and they may not be able to levy forces.
Yeah, and perhaps, that's really good. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So, again, it's nighttime. It's sleeping time. Are you sort of sated, Nidian, or are you still suspicious? Okay. Cool. Right on. So, night passes uneventfully. It's cold, but the fire keeps a warmth in the camp, and the tents are of good quality, and you're all able to keep yourselves well. The morning rises, and I suppose that the three of you want to lead Syagrius and his men to Earl Roderick, yeah?
Yeah. I'm up early.
Awesome.
I bet I am up like early-est, in fact.
Give me a test of your energetic.
Oh, sir.
Let's see how very early
you do me great honor.
Yeah.
Well done.
So, rhetoric.
You're an early riser, right? Like, didn't you say that since like day one?
Yes, yeah. This is a noted factor in Rethric's character. You have somehow proven your energy in a dramatic and glorious way in front of the Praetor. So what does that look like for you?
Well, first of all, like, I'm up before dawn, right? But what nobody sees is Rhetoric slips out a little bit from his pack. He unwraps some wax paper, a little bit of Yvonne's delicious honeycomb.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
And eats it, and he's like,
Yvonne's delicious honeycomb.
He, like, when everybody else is like, he is up on his horse with Walter, who's like, God, this fucking guy.
Poor, what's his name?
Right.
John Goodman, yeah.
And, right. From Big Lebowski. No, so he's like up on his horse, ready to go before people are even awake.
Yeah.
Or maybe even like, I don't know. Oh, know what? No, I got one better.
Yeah.
Dude, I go hunting.
Nice.
Before they're up and bring back breakfast.
Yes.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yes.
Is that like a brace of conies that you've?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
And Herethric is just like, he's been dreaming of like sneaking into the bastion at Soissons and beheading the Frankish and throwing the gates open for the Roman army to like run back in. Like he's just been having kitty dreams all night.
He's dreaming of the Roman triumph that Caesar throws for Herethric.
Right? Yes.
The retaking of Soissons.
Right. Just like, oh my god, I see it. Like the rose petals falling everywhere, like the parade, the showering,
purple
of,
banners on each side,
glory and banners.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Herethric goes out like before dawn, hunts up some breakfast, and is ready. And has Walter preparing the breakfast when everyone gets up. I guess so. That's how you wake up. Is the smell of delicious breakfast. Like maybe we even like got some like pheasant eggs that we poached out from some nests.
Awesome.
Nice. We're doing it.
Yep. So you're frying up coney and eggs in the morning, early morning, and I think the Praetor's tent sort of opens a flap, and he stumbles out, holding his head. That wine is
wine.
That's wow. He looks at you. He says, "Sir Knight, what a service you have done us this morning." He sits down hard on a stool, but a stump next to the fire, and he brings out some plates and a skewer and begins skewering coney onto his plate. And
I serve him first, since he's clearly the ranking nobility here.
yeah, absolutely.
Or Walter serves him first. I don't serve nobody. I'm a fucking knight. But yeah, he's served first, and and I kind of, Herethric just says something simple about enjoying the bounty of Earl Roderick's lands and the kind of the beauty and richness of Britain.
Yeah. Super good. So yeah, he's impressed, and it's clear that he perhaps drank over much and slept over soundly, and now he would have gotten a very slow start to the day, except that your bracing and energizing breakfast of coney and eggs has awoken him and his men, and you all set off quite early in the morning.
Breakfast of champions.
Yeah. All right. So are we just cutting straight to you all introducing him to Earl Roderick, or is there anything you wanted to make sure happened along the way?
I guess. Excuse me. I'd just like to put our heads together, like on the ride over, and just make sure that we're all on the same page.
Totally. Yeah. You guys, ride off ahead a little bit to scout the journey, and
also give them some time to get their shit together. Mm-hmm. But so. Friends, I think I see glory in our future. Yes.
Yes.
No, I'm like, look at our.
He's a very good friend to have.
Right. Literally, we just ran into these guys. This is incredible. They're awesome.
Well, the Lord smiles upon us. We should, of course, make the most courteous introductions for our friends, and so as not to tax our Lord, Earl Roderick, I believe that it would only be proper if we were the first to volunteer to perform any service necessary in order to satisfy the dear Praetors.
Surely.
Rethric is trying not to laugh. So yeah.
Elaine doesn't get it. She doesn't get your deal yet.
No. Rethric is a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
Murder beast.
It's not a murder. He's a glory hound.
Okay, right. It just so happens that glory happens to come frequently from murder. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
The axing to the face.
Yeah. So no, I kind of like I'll reach out then, and maybe like lean into Elaine, like give her a little squeeze below the elbow, and say, "There's much glory to be had here."
Yes, really? Oh, hi. Yes, I believe there is.
Yeah, you can see like Swasan kind of burning behind Rethric's eye.
Elaine, is Hrethrick's energy and fire, is it catching for you, or are you kind of uncertain about this?
It takes me aback at first, this like fire in his eyes, but then I realize it's just because he's like clearly so excited about, you know, pleasing our Lord and making connections and the opportunity that this poses, and like nothing murdery at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yes, agreed. This is a very, very, very good opportunity.
I think these guys are great guys. They seem
They're
very
great guys,
like,
you know?
if they're not, at the very least, what they feel is very genuine and true, and Gideon's getting that, right? Like they really, really believe what they're saying. They're really here for the right reasons, right? And I respect that in a big way. Right? They're taking a risk coming over here, helping, doing what they can for their Lord, and I get that. I believe in that. That's ability. That's amazing.
Yeah, we can all relate to that.
And hey, and if we get glory out of that, great.
Yeah,
Great.
rock and roll. Let's go.
Super awesome.
Which one is the cute one?
The cute one? His name is
Stewart.
The musician, right?
Crispus. And yeah, he was one of the musicians for sure. Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
I ride a little closer to him than is possibly appropriate.
You just sort of like bump him gently off of his horse.
Oh, pardon. Silly me.
Terribly sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
terribly sorry.
Are you trying to flirt?
Yes. Do it.
How?
Am I flirting already? I mean, I think I'm kind of just trying to like make conversation with him.
Okay, so you're trying to like be.
What kind of bands do you like?
Yeah. He listens to me, you know? Like,
Very
what kind
nice.
of games are you playing right now? Like, what kind of food do you like?
Go ahead and make a courtesy roll.
Okay.
What kind of food do you like? He says something like, I very much enjoyed the escargot. Yeah. What does it look like when Elaine just like botches her attempts at courtesy? Especially with this like gentle French foreigner.
She turns bright red
Nice.
and tries to change the subject to like talking about how great Roderick is, and then just kind of like lets up on her horse and lets herself recede down the line a little bit.
I think, yeah, Crispus probably does that thing where he's like, "Oh, sacre bleu, my horse. She is riding faster. Oh, it's a surprise." And he like kicks his horse in the sides to just like nudge it forwards a little bit.
Abort.
Yeah.
Like in a sort of like comparable sense, how more attractive is Nidian than Crix?
Wow, you know, Nidian is an attractive knight, and you know his appearance is strong.
I'm a diamond
great.
in the rough, really.
Yeah, and you are an exemplary example of knighthood. But Crispus, you know, his hands haven't held swords, and his flesh hasn't been pierced by arrows and weaponry. And he has been sitting inside and making notes and ledgers and drinking fine wines and eating good foods.
Yeah,
So
he's a soft boy.
Yeah,
he's a
I was
little.
gonna say he's a cute boy. He's a cute soft boy. Oh.
Yes, that's what he is. He's a little bit of yeah. He's pretty. He's beautiful in a way that Nidian isn't. And Nidian is as you know, as a result of his profession, just a little more rugged, a little more striking. People look at Nidian and they see like this is the sword of our country.
Yeah.
But when they look at Crispus, they see this is a fine man who is used to fine living and fine things.
I like your rugged good looks, Nidian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody likes rugged good
I'm not
looks.
like pastoral or like parochial, like rustic, cute guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Cute,
You're the cute farmhand.
I was gonna say I was literally Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Farm boy. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you make it to Earl Roderick's court at Sarum, and which of you is going to be the one to introduce our new guests to Earl Roderick?
I have I'm happy to do it. I have a 12 courtesy, and I'm also so excited. But Nidian, this tends to be your bailiwick. So,
why don't you do it, Roderick? I feel like you're so burning. You're burning. Well, I mean, we're both pretty burning for this, but you are really burning for this, and you really, really want this.
I feel like you kind of like hit it off with Roderick last time too. Wasn't that you?
Yeah, I remember, and like I'm kind of afraid to talk to Earl Roderick, even though I did salvage a lot of our relationship. I did fucking tell him to burn our ships. And invading, I'm probably not the best person to pitch battle plans.
That was pretty awesome.
You know what I mean? I kind of like feel like hasn't been enough time for that, so I'm gonna give you.
Roderick, you seem so impassioned. I wonder if there is a passion here that you think is relevant for introducing this foreigner to your lord.
I don't think you've even seen all the bonuses I'm going to get on this roll.
Okay.
No. So Roderick then spurs ahead.
Yeah.
After like kind of a brief like eye conference with Elaine and Nidian, and Nidian's like, you do this. Because Roderick is probably like in the ride over in the few hours is probably turned kind of insufferable, right? He's still a boy, and so he's probably just been like, can't do anything but like talk about like, oh, this is I can't wait to talk to Roderick, like it's gonna be great, or Roderick's gonna send us on an adventure. so you're right. So he like composes himself and rides ahead, obviously excited, No, but he thinks it through. He understands the kind of the way of the world, or I'd like to think he does. And he sends Walter ahead of him to begin the formalities of. I imagine I would want to talk to the steward first.
Yeah, Sir Elid.
Sir Elid, right? So So Walter is to go to talk to tell Sir Elid that there are important guests coming. To see Earl Roderick and to make accommodations ready for them, and that Hrethric requests audience with Earl Roderick, and if Elid wants to bump that down, that's fine. But basically, I try to take the proper formalities here.
Cool. So you're angling for courtesy in terms of like how you're playing it.
Correct.
Cool. Give me a roll.
Courtesy. Okay, so. First of all, so my courtesy is 12. I would like to invoke my glory. Hrethric is a rising star in the court, and is, second only to Dwinwyn, and only then by a small margin. So I believe I can request a +2 glory, +2 bonus for my glory.
Yep. +1 per 1,000 glory you have. Yep.
Correct. And before I invoke the passion, does I guess critting the energetic, like that's the hunting test, and that's all fine, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right, yeah, and then obviously, like Herethric's intentions are to bring nothing but glory to Earl Roderick. Right, like he's the one who immediately sussed out that these dudes can't go on to Gorlois, and it would be a great slight against Roderick if they did.
That's
true. So he is thinking. I mean, like he puts aside his own vanity and lust for glory at this moment, and thinks like, I must make sure that all is done properly, so that Earl Roderick's name, will be held in high esteem.
Yeah.
Over Gorlois.
How do I best serve my lord in this? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so
is that your loyalty passion?
My loyalty passion.
All right.
Yeah. So
nailed it.
That's a pass. So that gives me plus 12 to this roll.
Yes.
Total. So back to skills. So and then I just put 12 in there.
Yep.
All right.
Wow.
Oh, and of course
What?
Well, you nailed it. So yeah, there's no question at all. You sent all the proper messages and all of the proper ways. I think when you arrive at Sarum, Sir Lycus and Sir Elid are both there at the gate, ready to greet you.
Right.
And Sir Elid is standing there with her hands on her hips, and a smile on her face. And she sees you. She waves as you rein up your horse and dismount. Sir Lycus launches himself at you and tackles you to the ground.
Oh. I laugh and I don't know, armbar him or something.
Yeah, totally.
We may choke him until he spits. Yeah, that's great. I'm very excited. So, yeah, and so I throw Sir Lycus off, you bear, and I bow low to Sir Elid, and I explain in the most courteous of terms while like holding Sir Lycus off. That, we have guests.
And Sir Lycus is here because he's very excited that you've brought these esteemed guests to Earl Roderick's court. So he lets you speak your piece. Sir Elid. She nods in excitement, and her eyes are lit up, and she says, "Well, I didn't expect this from a man of your stock, but you've certainly done the right thing for Earl Roderick." Yeah, so I think maybe you and Sir Lycus share a glance.
Actually, you know what? Herethric is heroically modest, right? So it just doesn't like show it at all.
Nice, yeah, cool.
Yep.
Wait, yeah, so yeah, that's pride versus modesty, right? Yep, that's just nothing. Cool.
Yep.
Well, no, hang on.
No? Do you want me to
well, yeah, you're not trying to act against your modesty, so yes, that's fine. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You keep your cool, no problem at Sir Elid's ongoing and casual racism, but she nods in conviction, and she says, "Yes, it is meet and appropriate that you be the one to announce these visitors to Earl Roderick. So please, by all means, good Sir Knight, forwards to the hall. I will have the castle steward announce your coming."
Okay, I delay just enough though to collect Elaine and Nidian.
Yes.
And to make sure that we are presenting this news in phalanx to see what I did there. To Roderick. Those are the Greeks. That's not fair. But yeah, Herethric doesn't like. Herethric is not at all interested in like claiming this is a personal victory or anything like that. In fact, Herethric doesn't believe that he can plead his case without Elaine and Nidian.
Okay.
Yeah, very nice. So the steward announces to the hall, and he starts with the lowest ranked individuals. So he starts out with, Squires Walter, Berengar, and Peter, Squire to Sir Hrethric, Sir Elaine, and Sir Nidian, come bearing guests from foreign lands, Praetor Syagrius, or I guess he would start with Crispus, and then he would go through the names of the knights with them, and finally tailing off with and the Praetor Syagrius from wait, what's the name of the land again? Dang it.
Neustria.
Of Neustria.
Sounds of Neustria, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The opener to the headliner.
Yep. And you know the people in the court. I guess at this point in the day, Earl Roderick is probably attending his court, so he's got various people pressing their cases for him. A couple of local commoners who are involved in disputes over land or flocks of livestock, as well as knights who have brought their problems before him, and all of the court just hushes and murmurs at the mention of this name of this foreigner from this strange exotic land. And you all stride in, and Earl Roderick stands. And once you are all, I suppose you would approach and kneel and make the proper obeisances to your lord.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he invites you to rise and says, please tell me, this is quite an honor to have these foreigners visit our court. Of course, we will create a feast this evening so that you may enjoy our hospitality. Please make yourselves at home in my home. We will have wine and bread and meat for you this evening. But my good sir knights, tell me, how came you to encounter these men?
Well, it pleased God to allow us to meet them on the road, and it was through Sir Nidian's pleasant tongue that he teased a great tale of tragedy from the noble Praetor Syagrius, right?
Yep, Syagrius.
Syagrius.
I thought it was Sigarius until like 5 minutes before the show when I looked at it. I looked it up in like different parts of the book, and I saw that it was spelled Syagrius, and I was like, is it spelled two different ways? No. It's just that I read it as Sigarius the first time, and it was stuck in my head like that forever.
Syagrius.
I do that stuff all the time.
Yep.
So we are very lucky and to humbly present these illustrious guests from Neustria to your court, and to assist them in a small matter that they bring to your attention.
Yeah, nice. He nods. Why don't you make an orate test, Rethric, just to see if you're able to like get a crit or nail it or something like that. You deliver the information. Bear in mind you still have the +10 from your, or +12 in fact.
Oh, all right, let's go.
Hey, check that out. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, you deliver a strong and eloquent explanation of the events. And Earl Roderick laughs. He says, "Ha! Well, I am glad that you've brought these men to me. I will be glad to hear their pleas and grant them what counsel I may, in the service of the king. Now, please, my servants will lead you to rooms where you may bathe, where you may dress yourself in comfortable clothes, and this evening we will all feast, and you will tell me what it is you need." So, the day passes uneventfully. You all also are given the opportunity to clean yourselves up. And in the evening, you're all seated according to like your nightly rankings. And of course, the three of you are seated fairly far from the Lord's table, being that you are young and untested. But you can see you're seated right next to Earl Roderick, and I believe the Countess Ellen, his wife, is Praetor Syagrius. Probably the other knights and Crispus from the Roman Legion are probably seated at your table, so you're able to trade war stories and get a little flirtation in. The conversation at the head table is fairly animated. Do any of you want to like make an awareness roll to see if you can hear through the crowd what they're talking about, or are you just gonna like let trust to their discussions to play out.
I think, yeah, Herethric is too eager to know. So yeah, definitely.
I'm a little nosy.
Okay, cool.
Yep, we're testing awareness.
Yeah.
Oh, I fail.
Nice. Okay.
Hey, what are you guys talking about over there? Sounds cool. Hey.
Yeah. So while Elaine and Herethric are speaking with the knights and Crispus, I saw someone at Leafington, I think, said Davis, Francus, Stevis, and Marcus, the knights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sextus.
Yeah. And yeah. Duos, trios, quatrus, and sextus. Yeah.
I definitely named NPCs that.
However, Eric, you're able to like read the conversation a bit more clearly between reading lips and catching fragments of it through gaps in the conversation around you. You're able to understand that Praetor Sigarius is asking Earl Roderick.
Syagrius.
Syagrius. You started it, Luke.
Ah!
Praetor Syagrius is asking Earl Roderick if Earl Roderick is able to give any aid in taking back the lands that have been lost. And Earl Roderick is declining. He's demurring. He's saying that's not his decision to make, and that his duty is to King Uther. But then you can see them discussing King Uther at length, and what his status is and what the state of the country is around him. And it seems that the conversation ends with the understanding that much as when introduced to court, entrants to the court are introduced from order of lowest importance to highest importance. It is appropriate for Praetor Syagrius to approach the various dukes and kings of Britain in order of lowest importance to highest importance, and that, tactically, the right choice for Praetor Syagrius is to approach Uther last, because as Uther is the most important king and is vying for the high kingship of Britain, he's the one who deserves the honor of being asked last.
Has Uther adopted the mantle of Pendragon yet?
No. Well, I mean, he is Uther Pendragon. That's his family title, but he is not. He's not High King. That's the thing. Okay. So, like, you've heard rumors around court that he wants to become High King. There's something called the Supreme Collegium, which is a voting body that decides on a High King, and it's
kind of like a moot kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's all sorts of dukes and lords who sort of vote together. Let's see if I can tell you.
Okay. No, I get it. You don't have to look it up, the specifics, man. You don't have to get me into the deep political nitty-gritty.
But it's cool.
Of electing a high king. I get it. I get that you have to appear humble and have to go through everybody before approaching.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
that's the point.
The important thing.
So are we gonna follow them? And like maybe that's what's gonna. I'm wondering. Like, boy, are we going on an adventure helping these people rallying for their cause?
I mean, was hoping to go
kind of
kill a Frank, but whatever it takes.
As a side note, this is actually incredibly funny because this is totally what people were doing in South America, the South American Revolution, going to Spain and Paris, being like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going? You like liberty? You like things? How's it?
Send me all your soldiers,
money and troops. What's up?" Yeah, I totally get this. This is cool.
Awesome.
Being on this side of it, being courted and for these things, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So, I think the evening passes uneventfully, and morning draws around. Elaine, did you want to get any flirtation in with Crispus?
I might as well try. I think he thinks I'm weird. But what the hell, right?
He probably just thinks you're just a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks, guys. You do that thing with your foot, like digging a hole.
Ah, shucks. Well, I'm not in my like armor anymore, right? I'm in like a nice dining dress type thing or something.
Yeah,
How
totally.
fancy is this?
your nice knightly outfit.
Awesome. So am I courtesy or am I just like straight up flirting with him?
Up to you.
Oh, right. I have Venery.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Does that play out differently than flirting, or is it just...
Well, it's like it's the special French way of flirting.
Ah, yes. Aw. Well, then I flirt with him Frenchly.
Nice.
I think I probably comment on how well he played the night we were camping on the road, and how it inspired me and made me feel at ease with these like new people that we met.
Nice.
Yeah. And also your eyes are pretty.
Go ahead and roll the flirting check, or the Venery check, I guess.
Rethric is blushing, just kind of overhearing that.
Hey, check it out. Yeah, nailed it. You're pretty forward, but he blushes, his skin turning a gentle rose gold, and he pulls out from like under his cloak, he pulls out his harp, and he's like, would my lady care for me to play her another song?
Oh, yes, do.
Yeah, and he starts strumming on the harp.
I shall accompany you, and I just start like singing.
Awesome.
This song I've been working on called Wonderwall.
Yeah, he's like
that's a joke, but I can't tell you how many times that actually happened.
I know.
That's fantastic.
Can I roll for like singing with him?
Yes, you can.
Oh, it is.
Wait. Oh, singing. Oh, I have a good singing.
You do have a good singing. I was like, I'm going to ask her to sing. It's going to be terrible, but no. Oh, it's terrible.
And yet.
He starts strumming the chords to Wonderwall. And you jump in with, somebody once told me that... Yeah, so, you win some, you lose some, Elaine. There's like two competing songs happening at the same time. Him playing whatever beautiful French ballad he's playing, and then you singing some like bawdy French, like a fairly explicit song. And he's just sort of looking at you like, she did what with her? Wow.
No, it's a mashup. This is good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's working. Keep going.
The hall falls silent around you.
It's one of those moments where it just all goes silent. And
it's clear there's like a mixture of appreciation for the skillful play that Crispus is giving, and also like bafflement at your accompaniment, Elaine.
Whoa!
I'm gonna be an old maid, you guys. Poor Elaine.
The song finishes at long and grating last, and Praetor Syagrius, he stands up and he applauds, and Earl Roderick stands up and applauds as well. And the conversations resume. Syagrius comes over to the table with Earl Roderick, and Earl Roderick addresses the three of you. And he speaks to you saying, the Praetor will be on his road tomorrow with his men, though it would be of great use to him if some of my knights would accompany him into Cornwall. Can I trust the three of you to journey with him?
Gladly, my lord.
Good. Yeah. You must see him well upon his way and guide him smoothly by the roads that you know. And also, please come with me and we will speak of other matters.
Oh, I hope the other matters are my axe in Gorloris' face.
Possibly.
Yeah, he pulls you to the side, up by the head table. And you can see like a number of the other knights sort of eyeing all of you in surprise and jealousy. And he draws you close and he says, Now you are venturing into the territory of the Duke Gorlois, who has been asked to muster by King Uther many times in the past and has recently failed to do so. It is important that you remain courteous on your visit. Anything you can do to engender the king to the Duke is of value, but also make certain that you hold to your honor, men. It is important that as knights of King Uther, any mistreatment or lack of respect shown to you as knights of King Uther are as grave as disrespect and mistreatment of Uther himself.
Wow.
Absolutely, my lord.
He nods at you. He says, "You understand me, Threthric.
I do. You have done us a great honor allowing us to do this small service for you and the Praetor.
Yes, well, I trust you, and I remember how well you defended your friend Nidion's honor," and he claps Nidion on the shoulder, "in the adventure of the horses. So,
It was a small thing.
be on your best behavior and represent us well." Yeah. So, I think the screen fades to black, and it's probably time for us to take a break. So we'll take 5 minutes and we'll come back with the second hour and 15 or so of the adventure of the Praetor's Plea. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 5.
Nice.
Awesome. Cool.